If you're running a real estate marketing agency, you know the biggest challenge isn't just getting noticed. It's getting noticed by the right brokerages. Well, today, we're going to break down how AI can completely transform your generic cold outreach into these hyper-personalized messages that actually land you those big six-figure clients. Let's dive right in.
So, does this sound familiar? You spend hours, maybe even days, crafting what you think is the absolute perfect email. You hit send, and then you get nothing. Just crickets. It's so frustrating, right? But the truth is, most cold outreach just isn't cut out for the incredibly competitive real estate market.
And this, right here, this is the absolute heart of the matter. A generic message is basically a dead end. The one critical thing that separates a deleted email from a signed contract is genuine, scalable personalization. It's how you prove you've done your homework and that you actually understand their unique spot in the market.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the problem, what we're calling the cold outreach trap. Then we'll walk through this really cool crawl, walk, run approach to using AI, starting with a free tool, then moving to automation, and finally, mastering a full multi-channel strategy. And we'll wrap up with your agency's clear next steps. All right, let's kick things off with the trap that so many agencies fall into. We're going to break down exactly why that standard copy-paste cold outreach just completely fails in the real estate world, an industry where, relationships and local expertise are literally everything.
I mean, just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. Every single day, brokers and agents are getting absolutely bombarded with dozens of emails, all promising to solve their problems. So if your message doesn't immediately show that you understand their listings, their brokerage, and their specific market, you're just more noise. You're part of the problem.
So how do you start personalizing without having to, completely overhaul your entire workflow? Let's get into our crawl phase. This is your first, your easiest, and your most accessible step into the world of AI personalization, and we're going to use a tool you probably already know and love. Yep, we're talking about ChatGPT. Think of this as a totally no-cost, no-risk way to get a real feel for what true personalization looks like. The goal here isn't to email hundreds of people. It's about manually crafting a handful of incredibly powerful, targeted messages for your absolute dream clients.
And here is the magic sauce. Seriously, you can screenshot this and use it today. By feeding ChatGPT specific details, like an agent's name and brokerage, and telling it to research their recent listings, you can generate an email with a genuine, specific compliment about their work. That little detail, that's what gets you a reply.
Okay, so this manual method is fantastic for dipping your toes in the water and targeting a few key accounts each week. But let's be realistic, you can't build your agency's entire outreach system on this alone. To really grow and scale up your client acquisition, you've got to bring in some automation.
All right, so you've proven the concept. You've seen that personalization works. Now we enter the walk phase. It's time to get way more efficient with tools that are designed specifically for automated deep personalization at scale.
Now, two of the key tools in this space are Autobound and Instantly, and they actually serve slightly different purposes. You can think of Autobound as your sniper rifle. It's for deep, surgical personalization on those really high-value brokerages. Instantly, on the other hand, that's your workhorse for scaling those campaigns out to hundreds of prospects a day.
So let's peek under the hood at how they work. Autobound basically acts like your personal research assistant. It automatically scours the web for data, things like a record-breaking sale or a new office opening, and then it weaves those details right into your emails. Instantly is all about scale and safety. It lets you segment campaigns for different types of agents, and really importantly, it has this smart warm-up feature that protects your domain and makes sure your emails actually land in the inbox, not the spam folder.
We've crawled, we've walked, and now it is time to run. This is the big leagues. This is where you combine powerful AI personalization with a multi-channel strategy to connect with prospects on every single platform they use.
And the key player here is a tool called Lemlist. See, it's not just about sending better emails anymore. This is about creating a whole cohesive journey for your prospect. Just imagine your outreach moving seamlessly from an email to a LinkedIn connection request to a follow-up message, all automated and all personalized.
So, how does it know what works? Well, Lemlist's AI isn't just guessing. It has been trained on data from, get this, over 400 times million outreach emails.
That means it really understands the subject lines, the messaging, and the timing that actually gets a response from busy real estate professionals. It's using a massive data set to optimize your campaigns for you.
Now this is what it all looks like in the real world. This slide maps out a perfect campaign. And notice, it's not just one email and you're done. No, you start with a hyper-relevant email about, say, their recent expansion. Then, a couple of days later, you follow up on LinkedIn. Then, you deliver huge value with a personalized video or a case study. And finally, you close with a clear call to action. You see how each step builds on the last? It creates this powerful, unforgettable sequence of touchpoints.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground here, from a simple prompt all the way to a super sophisticated multi-channel system. So now let's talk about turning all this strategy into action. Let's talk about your agency's next move.
At the end of the day, this is the big takeaway. Success in this space isn't about having the slickest sales pitch. It's about proving you understand your prospect's world before you even ask for a meeting. And AI-powered personalization is the tool that lets you do that, consistently and at scale.
So the roadmap is laid right out for you. Start simple, start free with the crawl phase using ChatGPT. When you're ready for more volume, you walk by scaling with a tool like Autobound or Instantly. And when you're ready to truly dominate your market, you run with a full multi-channel strategy on Lemlist.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. This stuff isn't some futuristic concept anymore. It's what the top agencies are doing right now. They are already using these tools to sign the clients that you want. So the only real question left is, how quickly are you going to adapt and secure your own competitive edge? Thanks for tuning in.